50 Minutes of Heat brought to you by Hollywood Kia. Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Heat back at it tonight against the Pistons. Did you guys see yesterday? Did you guys happen to see on social media? Because it was interesting enough. We were talking about these too when I referred to Leroy as blissfully ignorant. Goran Dragic is up to something. And it appears that he is, I guess he's also getting into podcasting. I don't know. But there's a photo that he posted on his Instagram of him sitting down at a microphone with Nikola Jovic, dude.
Wow.
I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if this is his thing or what, but young Brate sits down with OG Brate. Something's happening there. Very interesting.
But those are from opposing clans, aren't they? Isn't this Slovenia?
I don't think it works like that. I don't think that's how that works. I mean, they play each other in basketball, but there's a lot of similarities.
Ryu and Ken,
Ryu and Ken?
These are two different. Okay.
This is not Street Fighter.
Well,
Hold it. But speaking of Street Fighter, Udonis Haslem. Udonis Haslem was on NBA Today yesterday.
He had something.
He had something to say about the Jimmy Butler honeymoon phase in Golden State. Now, mind you, this was before Golden State did win last night over the Bucks. This was fresh off their loss to the Jokerless, Murrayless Nuggets. Even though Jimmy did have a good game there too, but just not as good as Aaron Gordon always gives us. But here was Udonis Haslem, who's a little skeptical that the Warriors are going to be able to keep this up.
But I'm going to go with Golden State here. Obviously, playoff Jimmy is a thing because we've seen him before. But more than anything else, Steph Curry, last night, Steve Kerr talked about how tired he is. They've got to get him some rest, got to get his battery recharged. But he's still playing at the peak of his powers. Him and Draymond Green, 4-time champions. I just think they have the talent and the pedigree to be the biggest threat to Oklahoma City.
I got to argue with you on that one. This is no Jimmy hate, but I would say that the record has been a little bit favorable to Golden State right now. I'm looking at the record of the teams that they've played, and we're talking about 312 wins to 364 losses. I would argue that some of these teams they probably could have beat without Jimmy. Now, Jimmy has given them a boost. It's like a shot of whiskey right now, but we'll see if it lasts throughout the playoffs.
All right. There you go. Udonis Haslem.
I mean, I mentioned that yesterday. He's right. He's right. I mean, here's what I would say.
Love that guy.
That Jimmy fits with Golden State because anything that he does is a bonus. They haven't yet gotten into the position where anybody has made a demand on Jimmy to be the guy.
Except last night.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to some extent, what did he end up with?
He nearly had a triple-double. I think he had like 24, 8, and 10. What?
Whatever.
I mean, okay. But again, see, the difference between Jimmy and Steph is that Steph has to do numbers like that every night. Because Jimmy plays with Steph, he doesn't have to. When he was with the Heat, they needed him to do that every night.
No, but I think the question is, okay, we understand that. I mean, that's not going to change. He obviously is going to have Steph Curry, and the whole point of like Steph Curry being exhausted that Steve Kerr put out there, didn't play him, is this magical Jimmy Butler run legitimate? Is it legitimate?
How legitimate is it if Steph Curry is exhausted? How much of the burden is he actually, relieving Steph from if Steph is still exhausted? Like,
I don't know.
I would figure this, that if you bring another star, then you don't have to play Curry 35 minutes. You can give him some more breaks because you got somebody to hold it down.
Which he
Right.
did, yeah. But and I think that's the thing, though, is like he did have kind of his moment last night to show them that he could, and he did. And it's against a team that he's familiar with. It's a good team. I mean, like Milwaukee's not OKC, but they're no slouch either. I mean, they're a healthy amount over 500.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess by record, they're Golden State's better now. They haven't been
Right.
for most of the season.
Like
but no.
I'm just, I don't know if there's gonna be a time when it gets down to crunch time that you're ever gonna be able to take some of that burden off of Steph.
Their test is like, if you're going to believe in them, it's still not going to come until probably the beginning of April. Then who even knows? Because there are a lot of guys starting to maintenance program their stars. But their next four or the next five: Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio. Which,
Right.
I mean, that could be like a knife through butter with that run of teams. The way especially the way Miami's playing.
But that's what their schedule's been for the last month.
It has been.
Right.
It has been, which is why UD is skeptical. But I would say that if you were skeptical, like last night was a pretty strong response by Jimmy. What?
Well, because he can do it every now and then.
Which is all he's going to have to do with Steph being the lead
that
guy.
And see, that's the question I have, is that if Steph is tired now, are you going to need more of that from Jimmy to spell Steph during stretches of the game? And if you do, is he going to be able to do that? On, a lot, in order to keep Steph fresh for when it's crunch time. I think that's the question that UD has, is that they played a couple of good teams. Jimmy balled out last night because Steph wasn't there. But if the whole point of having another star was to spell or give your number one a break, and Steph is exhausted anyway.
Yeah, but like, is the exhausted thing a convenient thing that they just threw out there because they lost and then they had a back-to-back? Like, is he really exhausted? Because his numbers have gone up with Jimmy Butler there.
Yes, they have.
Is that to me is like almost one of these things where like everybody, like they got a little credibility because they had a 15-game run where they lost 2 games, and so they lose a game, and Steve Kerr goes, "Oh, but poor little adorable Steph is tired." I'm like, oh, now he's tired, really? Was he tired when he was shimmying all over the New York Knicks a day ago? He didn't look too tired then. I saw him drop it like it was hot before the ball even hit the net.
So if you're not tired last night, you can't be tired tonight.
I'm just saying it's like it's a very
like, do you know how tired works?
Because he had a lot of turnovers. Why can't we ever just have a bad game? Maybe Steph just threw up a stinker.
Oh, now, oh my goodness, coming from you, that's amazing.
No, I just think it's funny. It's
right.
Like,
Usually, you might. You've been known after one bad game to bring out the bum guns. You have been.
He had 7 turnovers. Oh, sorry, he didn't get his nap.
You think a nap is going to help him?
I don't know. I just think it's.
Have you seen all the running he does at what, 35, 36?
Maybe you should make one of those convenient injuries that LeBron has to go away for 2 weeks. Get in the Bain lab.
Oh, and here we go. Wow.
What?
Every March.
What?
You see, every March, this guy goes. What is he doing?
No.
That groin didn't look too bad when he was cheering.
I don't know. And also, I don't know. But one thing I do know.
Yeah.
For the best dry cleaning in South Florida, you want to use our friends over at A&T Dry Cleaners. Our boy R is the owner. You guys, you got to be sick at this point with so many businesses these days. You don't get that extra care, that touch that you need. Not with A&T Dry Cleaners. You can text or call Ara anytime, get a quote on your order. He could, set you all up with everything you need. All you got to do, reach out to him, 954-610-9383, Leroy.
40 years in the business, family owned and run. They have a seamstress that's Ara's mother, so you know you're getting the best care for your clothes. They even do same-day sewing, pick up, drop off your orders. They service all of South Florida, Dade, Broward, and Southern Palm Beaches. Just give Ara a call. He'll give you an idea of how long it will take, how much it will cost. And if you mention Tobin and Leroy, you get 25% off your order. That's right, 25% off. All you got to do is call or text Ara at 954-610-9383 at any time. Once you use A&T Dry Cleaners, you'll never launder your own clothes again.